Good evening, namaste, welcome. Thank you for being here. Okay, so as you know that all these Fridays we are speaking about the principles of Reiki, and one of the principles of Reiki that we're going to talk about today is just for today, I will not worry. Just for today, I will not worry. And how freeing it would be if we were not able, if we, could just be out of this thought of worry, isn't it? And as much as we try, and I've been observing myself, particularly in the last few days, it's a default mechanism. Our mind just gets into that thought or that chatter of worry, and that actually grips us. It grips us, and we don't realize that we're caught in that worry or we're caught in that thought, because it's a natural way in which we are, the flight freeze reaction with which we've grown up, and we've been, hearing about it from childhood, that be on guard, be safe, come back home on time. All those things actually tell us that, the world outside is there to get you, isn't it? And that's why anything different from, a little different from the normal way of how it should be, instantly takes you into worry. So what is worry basically when we look at worry? And before I go into that, I'm just going to tell you a little bit for those who are new to Reiki today, that these 5 principles of Reiki were given to us by Dr. Usui, Dr. Mikao Usui, who's the founder of the Usui system of Reiki, which we all practice. And many of you have been doing it for the last 2 years online on this group, and many have learned otherwise. So when Dr. Usui, got the understanding of Reiki and he wanted to share it further with his students, he meditated. He meditated for 21 days on a mountain in Japan. And after 21 days, when he realized, he got the Reiki symbols and, he understood what exactly Reiki meant, he went on to healing many people in a lepers colony. For 7 years, he worked in a lepers colony, healing those people, the lepers who were begging in that colony. And he sent them out and he told them that you are absolutely fine. You can go out and you can earn your living. And much to his surprise, he found that after 3-4 months, those same lepers were back in the colony and they were begging. And so Dr. Usui asked them that, why are you here? You are absolutely healthy. You can go out and you can earn your living. So to that, those lepers said that, it's easier to beg and live rather than to work and earn your living. So Dr. Usui realized that he had healed the physical body. He had healed those lepers of the physical, disease, but the mind had not been healed. And then he went on to giving us these 5 principles, incorporating it in our Reiki practice. So when we do our Reiki practice on our physical body, it's important to reflect on these 5 principles that he gave. And the last few Fridays, we have been talking about them. Just for today, I will live with an attitude of gratitude. Just for today, I will live with respect for myself and others. Today, we talk about just for today, I will not worry. The next is just for today, I will not anger. And last is just for today, I will live with honesty. And, they might sound very simple. I'll live with honesty, but it is just not what it means literally in these 5-6 words in this statement. Honesty, what it actually means is much more than just what we look at as the word. And honesty towards whom? We may be we may be sort of thinking that, yeah, we are very honest towards people or towards life. But I mean, we're cheating on so many things on ourselves only, isn't it? I mean, we're on a diet, but we'll still just bite into something, or, that's, I'm just giving you an example. So when we really come into that, and when we speak on honesty in the next following weeks, then we'll share about that. But today, let's look at this thought of worry. Because if we're in a state of worry, we're coming from a space of fear. Worry comes from a space of fear. As you all know, all emotions that we feel, all emotions can be broken down into 2 main emotions. They all stem from 2 base emotions, an emotion of worry or emotion of love. Any emotion you take, anger comes out of worry, fear comes out of, frustration comes out of fear, anger comes out of fear, impatience comes out of fear, guilt comes out of fear, shame comes out of fear. So base emotion is fear. And when you look at the positive emotions, appreciation, gratitude, happiness, joy, they all come out of love, isn't it? So all emotions you can break down out of these two emotions. So when we look at an emotion like worry, it tells us that we are not trusting in the universal plan, in the bigger picture, isn't it? That is why we worry. Do we worry any, is right now, if I tell you all, just close your eyes, let's come into this present moment, let's just be here. Is there anything to worry right now? All of you be still, take 3 deep breaths. Is there anything to worry? Absolutely not. What is the worry about? The worry is about something in the future, isn't it? What may happen today evening, what may happen tomorrow, what may happen in the next 5 years. And it is based on some story that our mind has caught or some imprint that we have from the past. So if we're in the present moment, actually, we can never be worried. And what is it that we worry about? If we look at it broadly again, we worry about stuff that we don't have control over, isn't it? We worry about stuff that we don't have control over. But many of you have heard me saying this, and I repeat it here. Actually, we are controlling nothing. What is it that we are controlling? Absolutely nothing. Can we even control our breath? Okay, those of us who are very good in pranayam and exercises, we may hold our breath for some time. But are you even aware that you've been breathing from the time you're conceived? Is that in your control? Nothing is in our control. So the universe is always telling us you've never been in control and you never will be in control. So just don't waste any energy trying to control, because when you can't control, then you get worried because it seems as if things are just slipping out of our hands, isn't it? And what is it that we worry about? We worry about maybe a particular situation, but more than that, like now I realize, especially all of us who are in these like-minded groups where we are meditating, we are tapping, we are praying, most of the time the worry comes from a space of what we say as collective consciousness. This could happen because this is how it has been happening. Like even when now, of course, it's very different. When children are going abroad to study, there's always a worry that most children who go abroad may fall off track. They may not be they may not be studying. They might fall into drugs. They might fall into wrong company or something like that. Because it's just a collective consciousness. Now, when somebody is getting married, it's like, yeah, so this is how it's going to be once you have a daughter-in-law and your son in the house. So it's just like a collective mindset. Now children have moved out of school, so they've gotten into a new sort of setup, and that's how it's going to be very different. They're going to be teenagers. They're really going to trouble. They're going to throw tantrums. So these are the kind of things which are like sort of conditioned. We have these conditioned thoughts in our mind, and because of that, we are attracting negativity, isn't it? Now you're 40 or you're 50. Now you're going to attract a particular illness. Everybody in your family got diabetes, so you're also going to be a diabetic. These are just things which sort of come into your mind because there's just a sort of a programming or an imprint in your subconscious which is creating it, isn't it? So we are mostly worrying about things that are not in our hands, things that we can't put a finger to, things that we can't control. And I'm going to give you an example that, once when I was doing a Reiki seminar, and I love to discuss these principles in a Reiki seminar, I was saying that, we should be aware that we don't slip into worry because we are attracting fear. If we attract fear in our life, what is it that we're going to go to? What is it, what else is going to come ahead? More fear is going to come in because that's the vibration we are sending out. So there was a lady who told me that, yesterday my daughter had gone to her tuition class, and she did not return for 2 hours. And those were not days when there were mobiles and all with children or with, or with us. So she said, we really had to get worried. What else can we do? We were so worried. I was panicking and I was like, trying to call up all her friends on the landlines, and I was just not able to get through. So I just told her that it's natural. There are situations where you need to act, but you can also do it from a little calm and a centered space. Worry brings in fear. If you even shift the word from worry to concern, I was concerned about my daughter. What is the vibration that you're sending out? You're sending out a vibration of love, isn't it? The situation remains the same, but what is it that you're sending out? You're sending out love. Versus saying, I'm so worried. The moment you say that, panic comes into your body, doesn't it? How do you know that you're worried? Because there are sensations in your body, there are palpitations, there are panic attacks, there's anxiety, there's stress, all related to something which is not really happening but could happen in the future, isn't it? If someone is unwell, you're already panicking and you're worried about her or him, of what could happen. What is meant to happen is meant to happen. How you react to it depends on your energy. So when we do practices like Reiki or meditation, and like all my practices start with a lot of grounding, isn't it? So when we are nicely, firmly grounded, and all these so-called situations come up, and we need to act in a particular way, we can act with much more maturity and much more sensibly if we are coming from a space of love versus coming from a space of fear. Now, to that lady, I said, God forbid. Of course, her daughter came home after 2 hours and she'd just gone off with her friend without informing her parents. God forbid if that daughter needed some kind of attendance from the parents, she'd met with an accident or something, whatever you can think of. In a state of worry, would you be able to help your daughter? No, not at all. You'd panic yourself and you would need more medical help than her, isn't it? So it would rather be that you be centered, you meditate, and you come into a centered space at that time. And I know a lot of times when we are in the midst of the crisis, we forget this. That's why to have these practices ongoing and just step back at that time when you're getting into a panic attack or getting into a space of fear or anxiety, take that little pause. Make it a habit to take that pause. Don't wait for a time when it's going to be like, a panic situation, because then you will not be able to do that. Attune your body in such a way that you don't react instantly. So every couple of hours, take a step back, take a couple of breaths, disengage from the story in your mind. The fear is not about what is going to happen, what is actually happening. The fear is the stories that the mind builds around this incident. Now, the daughter has not come home for 2 hours, for an hour. Of course, it's a situation where you would feel, concerned. But what is creating that fear is all the ifs and buts and the stories that the mind is creating. She's met with an accident. She may have gone somewhere. She's not informed us. I mean, sometimes the mind takes you maybe 50 years ahead, doesn't it? That's where you need to stop instantly and catch those stories and step back. And the simplest way, of course, is your breath, isn't it? But if you just step back, you just breathe into your heart center or come into the solar plexus, all that we do in our Reiki practice or otherwise, you'll see that there'll be an instant stillness. And there will be a part of you which is also, bubbling at one end. But you can choose to be there or here. You can choose to be there or here. And the more you are here in the stillness, the more this will become your default mode, isn't it? The more it will become your default mode. So just be aware when there is a story building in your mind, and it's a small thing. It's really a small thing that happens. And I'm going to ask you, I'm going to open this thing for you to tell me, what is it that you worry about? Let's reflect, and please don't take it personally or feel judged, because all of us worry about the same things. It's just that the degrees are different, and at different times, the same situation may not create any worry. But when you are not in a good vibrational space, the same situation will feel as if it's, the end of my life, isn't it? So think and reflect. What is it that makes you feel worried? Let's hear from you all.
Hi, Siddharthi.
Hi. Yeah, Suvidha.
Okay, so it's not a coincidence, you always say, but today my worry was immense. So there came your message, and I said I have to do this today. So like my worry is about my son today. Physically, mentally, and emotionally about him. I mean, I don't want to get into the nitty-gritty of it all. Yeah. So my story is absolutely about my son today.
And see, your story is so valid. It's like all of us are concerned about our children or worried about our children, if I want to say it in that way, right? Now, if I just tell you only to shift, okay, physically, mentally, emotionally. So the child is going through some kind of whatever situation, trauma, whatever it is that he's going through. and he's struggling with some things, and you as a mother, wherever you are concerned and you want to help him to the best of your ability, isn't it?
Absolutely.
So tell me, when you are worried, do you feel grounded? Do you feel centered? Do you feel you can help anybody? Don't you feel helpless when you're worried?
Yes.
So if you feel helpless, can you help anybody?
No.
So that's where we have to just center ourselves. Now see, if the child is going through something and he's
But
meant
I
to
have
go
to, but I have to put in one thing, that having done so many things under
Yeah.
you, it just, our awareness does come back to what you're saying right now. So like when we did the IMP, you said there is no way that any of you can actually turn around and say that I don't have a tool. We have
Yeah.
our tools. I understand that, but yet the worry stays. I mean, it's not automatic, because some days you do see like your child going through certain things. So definitely it's there, but I have to thank you on a daily basis, an hourly basis, to say that my awareness is there. Yes, my worry is there. I accept it and I need to work on it. Like today, the tool today is Reiki. I mean, the energy today that you are contributing to Reiki is that's what it is today. So I'm very thankful. But yes, it does ground us only when we ground ourselves, right?
Yeah, and that's so true. And you're such a sincere student, and I'm happy that you share in this way, because you have your whole bag full of fears, worries, anxieties, and you're trying to help support yourself actually with all that you're learning, whether it's tapping or whether it's Reiki or whether it's doing the meditations. So see, this is the truth, and I'm so happy that you're sharing this honestly, because all of us feel this way, don't we? All of us feel this way. We know that there is some things that need to be attended to. Some days it seems like a big wave, as if the whole wave is going to consume us, isn't it? Some days it might be less, and yes, that's the time when you need to tap or meditate or do your Reiki to ease out that time. You cannot change the situation, isn't it? Right? So if you say in your Reiki prayers in the morning, just for today, I will not worry. When you come into that space, so firstly, you've come into a space where you're not going to allow the fear to overpower you, isn't it? You won't allow the fear to overtake you, because you and when you say this, that just for the next 12 hours, 14 hours, I'm not going to be worried. Let me, you pray in the morning that may I not get worried in the next 12, 14 hours. You see that your prayers are answered. And the moment you're going to slip into that space of fear, there will be a higher guidance which will tell you, okay, this is so, but know that he's supported. I was just listening to something, and it's like when we think of ourselves, you as a mother are doing whatever you're doing, but do you really think it's you who's taking care of your child? No, no. So we have to put our trust in the bigger picture in the universe. And actually, even when we look at something, when we look at a beautiful flower, the flower is there, but it just cannot stay blooming with its with the fragrance that it's giving all the time, isn't it? Very soon the flower will wilt away, or the petals will fall off, or something like that will happen. And that again, after a few days, the flower will bloom. So that is the whole cycle. Who's making the flowers bloom? Who's making the trees so beautiful, the leaves so green? And then there are trees where the leaves fall off and the trees are totally barren, isn't it? And it feels that this plant is dead or this tree is dead. And then suddenly you see it in the next 10 days, it's full of flowers and leaves. Don't we see it so many times? There are plants in the pot and it feels that they're only dry twigs. They need to be thrown away, but they're lying in some corner, and suddenly after 2 months you see, wow, there's a new leaf sprouting on it. So we have to understand, when we see these things around us, we have to understand and trust in that bigger picture. So whenever you feel yourself slipping into a space of so-called worry, firstly shift that word to concern, because then your vibrations change from fear to love. And when you come into that space, rather than putting your energy into that worry or concern, put your energy into praying. Put your energy into praying, meditating, centering, and grounding yourself, because that is what is really going to help you, isn't it? That is what is really going to help you.
I use your affirmations and everything on an hourly basis. So if I tell you a very funny incident, I have a phobia of, I know everybody laughs. I have a phobia of lizards. It's an actual phobia. So if I have to go for a walk in the morning, I know I have to open doors. Now when I open doors, I know there are lizards around. So I even affirm for that, and like you said, the universe has your back. I'm not even joking how beautifully that is taken care of. I'm just amazed on a daily basis that wow, I asked the universe and the universe provides it. I mean, but I have to ask.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. And that's just so wonderful. That's just a small thing. When you ask for something bigger also. And the
Yes,
universe
I'm
is
just saying.
responding. The universe is responding.
I'm just saying even little things like that.
Absolutely. Yeah. But this is the way that you get the trust in the bigger picture, isn't it? This is the way when you get the trust in the bigger picture, because the universe is responding and there is absolutely no doubt in that. Have absolutely no doubt in that. Isn't it?
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Who else? Anybody would like to share? Anything else? What do we worry about? Come on, let's hear. Yes, Indu.
So I've been worried about my health, and it's amazing how the EFT and I don't know whether I can even show it to you. Yesterday when we did forgiveness, I actually wrote about fear and how the universe is bringing this very thing to me, and your message came today. And so I'm just getting closer to the fact that I have to constantly center myself. I have to constantly, frequently get hold of myself, reach within myself. The universe is providing all these tools for me, and I just have to use them really more regularly. That's what's coming to me.
So see, the tools are also coming in at a time when you need them, isn't it?
Yeah.
The tools are all
Imagine,
lying there.
Sujata, my first thing, they kept talking about forgiveness. And I said fear. And I said, I have to forgive myself for holding on to my fear.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So, it's amazing. It's just so amazing.
Absolutely.
Shukar.
Absolutely. Shukar. Absolutely. That's the word you've taught me also through the prayer meet. It's like shukar, shukar, shukar. It's so beautiful. It's just so beautiful. So these are the things we worry about: our health, like Subhita said, about our children, about our career, about our finances. But just know, and I again repeat a story that I heard from Muji Baba when I went to Rishikesh the first time. And he just said that, there are, you drive down from Delhi to Rishikesh, or you drive down any road, and there are these beautiful trees growing all along. They haven't even been planted. It's not that somebody has planted those trees there, right? Some seeds have flown from somewhere, they've come there. Some seeds get trampled in the next few minutes or next few hours or next few days. Some seeds keep growing, growing, growing. Nobody waters them. Nobody, puts manure on the roadsides or does all that. But the universe is looking after that. So the seeds which are supposed to grow into beautiful trees and give us those, give us that shade, give us the leaves, give us the flowers, give us the fruits, they'll grow. Nobody has nurtured those trees also. I mean, our children, we are like looking into them every hour, if not more, when as they're growing up, every minute we are feeding them, seeing where they are, what do they need. Now, if the universe can look after them, then why not you? Why not you? How do you think that you will not be looked after, whether it is your finances or your food or your, anything that you need? All that you need will always be provided to you. And then there are questions when a lot of times people feel that, we see these people sleeping on the street or they are begging. So they also need shelter, food, but actually even they are provided for. It's not that they're not provided for. It's just different situations or different setups according to many things. And I don't want to go into that, the karmic stories or all that, but the universe is still providing for them, isn't it? So we have to have the trust, really have the trust in the bigger picture, in the universe. And whenever you catch yourself in a state of worry, just step back. Just step back and look at the story around the worry. And today the meditation that I'm going to take you through is really I'm going to ask you to reflect on that story that is there around. And once we let go of the story, then let's see what remains, really what remains. So all these practices, like Suvidha said, all these tools that we use are helping us to really, ground ourselves, come back to our center, come back into that space of silence. Even then, so many times we are worried or confused about a decision we need to take or something that we have to, sort of answer. When we come into a space of silence, we get those answers, we get those guidances, we get all the guidance that we need to move ahead, isn't it? So all these practices are only taking you back to your center, back home, to a space of stillness, whether we do it through Reiki, whether we do it through EFT, whether we do it through meditation. It's just coming into a space, but yes, trusting a bigger picture. And I always give this example for those of you who were with me in the 6-week program, that most of the times we feel as if we are swimming in an ocean and we're really trying to find an anchor, isn't it? Kuch mil jaye pakadne ko, something to hold on to, and then I'll feel, yeah, my feet are on the ground. That's what we feel when we get worried or when we get into a panic attack, isn't it? I just feel that from all ends. I just don't know which way to turn. And how do you feel that? You feel it with sensations in your body. It could be a palpitation. It could be like a sensation in your stomach. It could be a churning. It could be breathlessness. It could be just like, a lot of sweating. That's when you feel that you are disaligned. And what are you disaligned from? What are you disaligned from? You're only disaligned from your center. So the moment you come back with your meditation, with your Reiki, you come into that space, then you're able to handle whatever situation that is going to come. Situations are not going to stop. Till we are alive, till we are breathing, something or the other will come. One day good, one day bad, half day good, 10 days good, then 2 days bad. The highs and lows are going to continue. And now we are more aware of them, isn't it? We are more aware of them and we feel, oh, I'm doing Reiki, I'm doing EFT, I'm doing meditation. Still I'm feeling anxious, still I'm feeling worried. But that's just a natural way of our body, natural way in which our body responds. But the bigger thing now is that you're aware of it and you can step back and you can place your hands on your heart center, invoke Reiki, give a little Reiki on your solar plexus, or do a little meditation, do a little breathing. And you'll see, because that story is not real. That's just a story in your mind, which is making you feel so fearful. And the moment you come into the center, the story passes away. And then there'll be something else. But if you're in the center, you'll just see all those things appearing and disappearing. You won't become one with that. So Reiki in particular for me, I would say, is something which really helps me to come back to the center. So let's, like we did in the last few weeks, let's just affirm in our hearts and pray, in fact, that, okay, if I get into a space of worry, may I have the awareness to pray and to trust in the universe that this is passing, this too shall pass. Actually, it is passing, isn't it? So you don't need to be consumed in it, because that is when we get caught in worry. Actually, all this fear that comes in creates all these lifestyle disorders also, doesn't it? Anxiety is nothing but all this churning in your stomach, which leads to acidity, ulcers, even cancer. All these things that happen in the gut are all because of all this secretion of excess acid, is because you're not able to digest what is happening in your life. And that's what also leads to worry, because it's non-acceptance of what is. Things should be in a particular way. This is how I thought this would be, but now it's not happening that way. And so I don't know what to do ahead. Right? But life is going to be like that. What we think, in fact, is very limited. Okay, we go to school, then we go to college, then we get married, then you have children. I mean, this is just something which is a conditioned way of thinking. And I'm giving you a very random example. But you could just see that things could go this way or that way too, isn't it? Some things could be fast forwarded. Some things could be, taking longer than what you had thought. Some things are going very slow. So it's all, the timing is divine timing. It is not how you have planned it. So the sooner you adjust and fall into this path, the easier it becomes for all of us, doesn't it? Let's hear from you before we go into a little meditation. Yeah, so let's set this affirmation. Somebody saying something?
Yes, I was just going to say that this Reiki and meditation has helped me a lot because I was always fearing my husband traveling. And this time he's gone to India. And I mean, I and my daughter, we just kept trying to get him out of it. But he had some work and he left. And for the first time, I just set all the worries aside and centered myself and gave it so much positive energy that now he is in India and I'm not worried at all.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Great. Okay, so let's settle down in our spaces. Let's have some light, gentle music. Srishti will play it. Just come into a space of gentle ease, keeping this principle of Reiki in your mind that just for today, I will not worry. Put your trust in the bigger picture, put your trust in the universe. Very gently close your eyes. Settle down nicely in your chair, on your bed, on the ground, wherever it is that you are. Just gently settle down. And let's connect to our beautiful anchor, our breath. Breathing with awareness. You're breathing all the time. For the next 10-15 minutes, you're going to breathe with full awareness. Slow, gentle breaths as you breathe in, feeling the air moving in through your nose, bringing in fresh energy, fresh prana, fresh oxygen. And then slowly exhaling, releasing all the toxins, all that you need to exhale out. Gently breathing in and breathing out. Let's invoke our guides and masters, angels, archangels, teachers and gurus, all our friends in the spiritual realm. Any gods, any deities that you like to invoke, that you like to hold close to you, just invite them in. And know that when they are next to you, there's really nothing to worry. Let's invoke our Reiki teachers, Dr. Sui, Dr. Hayashi, Madam Takata, Puran and Sumandua, Rohini and Rohit sir. And let's say our attitude of gratitude for ourselves. I thank myself for being here. I thank Reiki for being here. I take your individual names. I thank Sujata for being here. And then let's invoke the Reiki light, which is going to help us to ground, center, and release all our worries in this divine light. Bring this light into our body through the center of our head. Gently breathe it in between your eyebrows. Take a deep breath. Bring it in between your eyebrows, into your throat, and into the center of your chest. Then let's breathe a couple of deep breaths, deeper than you have taken all days so far. As you exhale, gently release. And then let's allow this light to ground us. Just allowing it to ground you into the present moment. And giving yourself permission right now to focus just on yourself. Making yourself your priority. Connecting to the earth. Sitting in the lap of Mother Earth, nicely grounded, anchored. Really knowing that there is nowhere else to go. Nowhere else that you need to be right now. Nothing else that you need to be doing right now. Just focus on your well-being. As you breathe in this light, connecting you to the source above, the fathers up above, and Mother Earth below. Allowing each inhale to be deeper, a bit deeper than the one before. Just feeling your lungs expand and filling your entire body with this divine healing light. Breathing in as you inhale, holding it for a bit, and gently contracting back as you exhale. And as you focus on your breath, just feel the journey of this breath through your body. Feel this breath traveling through your beautiful body, carrying this healing light through your entire body. And as this breath, as this healing light scans your body, notice any place or places where you may be holding stress or anxiety or worry in your body. Focus on your forehead. Release the lines of stresses on your eyebrows, on your forehead. Consciously unclench your jaws. Release any stiffness from your neck. Relax your shoulders. Just let your shoulders drop down. And take a deep breath as you release all the tightness and worries that you carry on your little shoulders. Allowing your breath to gently return to its normal rhythm and pattern. Keeping your focus on this healing light and allowing it to be your anchor. As we affirm in this meditation, just for today I will not worry. Allow this healing light to travel through your body, relaxing your arms, your chest, lightening up your abdomen, and consciously relaxing your spine. So much of stress we hold on our back. If you get distracted by a thought or a sound, just simply acknowledge that it occurred and then gently let it go. And return your attention to your breath, to this divine healing light flowing through your body. Breathe in and breathe out. Let's understand that when we feel stressed or anxious or worried about something, it's often because we don't feel we have control over it. And this sense of being out of control can make us feel threatened and heighten our emotions sometimes. And an understandable reaction to this is that we try to control the situation even further. We tend to judge the situation and even our feelings about it. Identify these judgments, these stories that we tell ourselves about. And when we engage in these stories, they become bigger and sometimes even bigger than the entire situation itself. And that adds to even more stress, even more anxiety, and the cycle goes on repeating. So right now, I invite you all, I invite each one of you to recall or call to your mind the situation that you feel is causing you anxiety. It could be your health, concern about your children, concern about the health of your loved one, financial crisis, situation at work. Just bring this situation into your mind's eye. And ask yourself, what judgment are you holding about it? And as you name the judgment, acknowledge its presence. Sometimes we feel that we are not being a good parent or a good partner or a good child by not worrying, by not showing concern, by not being fearful about the situation. Those are the judgments. I'm not good enough. I'm not a good parent. What if this happens? What if I get into a financial crisis? What if my health deteriorates? Those are the judgments. So just name the judgment and acknowledge its presence. Don't struggle if you cannot put a finger to the judgment. Let's just give the judgment permission to drop away. Give the story permission to drop away. You just don't need it anymore. Just let it go, let it go, let it go right now. Just tell yourself, I give permission to this story, to this judgment, to totally fall away. And it's safe to let go. Just let it go and dissolve in this healing light in your entire body. Just reflect, what's the story you've been telling yourself about the situation? And as you recognize it, as you acknowledge it, give that story permission to drop away as well. When you see that it's just a story and a construct of your mind, you feel like laughing, isn't it? Because you know it's not the truth. And you may notice that your mind is pushing you even harder to hold on to those judgments and those stories. Just recognize and acknowledge those thoughts too. And allow them to easily drop away. Continue to use your breath, continue to use the healing light to anchor yourself back into the present moment. The mind will pop in, but if then stop, drop all those judgments and stories. Just be present here right now. And now look at the same situation without the judgment, without the story that you've been telling yourself. It's a pain in the body. It's a health condition. Full stop. How does it feel different? Has the level of anxiety or stress changed? I invite you to just look at the situation with total curiosity. Let's be silent for the next few minutes and just be with the situation and your breath and the healing light. No judgments, no stories. Give yourself permission to open up to the clarity and direction on what the very next step for you to take is. Not the next 5 steps or 10 steps, the next immediate step. Not at all the steps to the end, just the very next immediate step. Receive this guidance. Just continue breathing with your eyes closed, breathing in this light, and let your attention focus on the guidance that you receive. Our judgments of and stories we tell ourselves about a situation tend to exaggerate the entire situation. And that exaggerates our feelings of unease, anxiety, and stress. And they really make the situation so big and throw it totally out of proportion. And actually, they block us from seeing the truth of the situation. And that totally drops off the ease and the comfort we so desire. So the next time you're feeling anxious, you're feeling worried, just remember to breathe. And then notice and acknowledge the judgments about it, the story behind it. And then let them drop away. And notice how the anxiousness totally eases up. Just focus on the truth of the situation in this present moment. You have everything you need right now. Everything that you need is provided to you. Just let go and let be. Let's take a deep inhale. Let's take 3 deep breaths together. Deep inhale in and holding that breath for a bit. And exhaling it out. And a deeper breath than the one before. Just feeling it weave in and out of your muscles and cells and exhale it out. And for the last time, deepest breath yet. Sending the oxygen, this fresh prana, all the way through your entire body. Feeling that ease and stillness as you gently exhale. Each breath affirming, just for today, I will not worry. And as you breathe, connect to the top of your head. As you receive the blessings from your guides and masters, angels and archangels, who are always there. Just surrender your worries, your fears, your anxieties at their feet. And know that you're always protected. So let's thank this divine grace and this divine presence in all our lives. Any gods, any deities that you believe in, just bow down to them and say, you gave it to me, God. Please take me through this. Tera tujhko arpan, yours, back to you. And let's thank all our Reiki teachers and masters, our guides, and teachers who guide us through this healing light on this planet, helping us to connect to the light within. And then let's thank ourselves. I thank myself for being here. I thank Reiki for being here. Take your individual names. And I thank each one of you for being here and creating this beautiful circle of prayer, of healing love and light. Just for today, I will not worry. Just for today, I will not worry. Slowly breathe into your fingers, wiggle your toes. Bring your awareness back into your space. As you release all those stories and judgments, feel the ease in every cell of your body. Feel the trust, the faith, the serenity in each cell of your body. Slowly and gently, you may open your eyes. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So next time you catch yourself slipping into the pool of worry, just look around to the stories and just shut them off, and you'll see that the worries will disappear too. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you, Shiraji. Thank you so much.
Thank you.